Commentary Breakdowns!
What up?
And we are going to break down a fight between Russia and America.
Nice.
Old rivals. And this is America from Season 3. So they have gone through TFC Season 2 already. And they are prepared. And they're all bulked up. And the Russian team is St. Petersburg.
Okay.
And it's Barbarians-FT. So it's two teams put together. So the Russians are ill-prepared for the Americans in this encounter.
Is it a super team, or is it like a couple of our people dropped out, so we need to...
I think that's what it is.
Got it. Okay.
So it is the Russians, let's just say, are not prepared for the Americans.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think you know where this is going to go, but there's still a lot of great lessons because the Russians try to have strategy.
Yeah.
And they just fail. But we can appreciate what they're going to try to do soon.
So this is a highlight reel of Season 2?
Yeah. This is a highlight reel of Season 3.
Oh, Season 3.
Yeah, Season 3.
Got it. Okay.
These are the Latvians.
Ooh.
Fight 5, TFC Event 3.
Nice.
Russia versus America. And so they are announcing who's going to fight whom. And, of course, we have the Russians who already, we saw before, got their butts kicked by the Polish.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that guy? So
what we should do is we should have any of the listeners, if you can look up the what's her name? Who's the announcer? Svetlana. If we can look up her attire, and then you can put it on your Jerry Lou shop.
Ooh, I like that.
You have to look up the Svetlana look.
The Svetlana look. The leather
with the red shirt.
Exactly. So all
you too can look like Svetlana.
You too can look like Svetlana. And these are the Russians after getting destroyed by the Polish.
Gotcha.
But they're ready to fight the Americans.
Same day or different
Same day?
Oh my gosh.
Same day.
Same day.
That's how concussions happen.
Jeez.
Or not concussions, permanent brain
So
damage.
leather pants, leather jacket, red shirt.
Red shirt, yep. And these are the Americans who
Damn.
destroyed the Polish. So if the Americans destroyed the people that destroyed the Russians, then I think the Americans are going to destroy the Polish. Or I mean the Russians.
Yeah, it's a pretty good indicator.
Yeah. So that's some highlights from before. You guys saw the breakdown. If you haven't, you can watch it on the right. And these are some of the members of Team USA. I've interviewed Ryan, the big guy on the right.
Mm-hmm.
I probably will interview the guy on the left eventually.
Nice.
And this is them destroying the last Polish fighter. Durability and rivalry, extreme hobby. So this is Jim Cooley.
Jim Cooley.
He is the official announcer.
Not to be confused with Catfish Cooley.
Catfish Cooley, that's right.
Love that guy.
So, they are ready. Or, not yet. They're going to have to bring out all the fighters. All the ceremony.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Jim's just summarizing what happened before.
Money, money, money. I love how he's doing the money, like
Exactly.
making it rain.
Making it rain.
But they don't get paid a whole lot.
Get paid a lot.
Get
It's
paid
all
in
passion.
Paid in pride.
Paid in pride, exactly. So, if you look at the Barbarians-FT, the Russian side, there's a football player.
Yeah.
They're all stand-up fighters.
When they say football, do they mean soccer? Or
Yeah,
okay,
soccer.
gotcha.
So one's a soccer player, so he knows how to kick, basically.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's all about, like, Jose Aldo was a soccer player before he transitioned into mixed martial arts.
Ooh, I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why
I guess you have the explosiveness from that.
Yeah, devastating leg kicks.
Yep. And you have the what is it? The endurance, the cardio.
Yeah, a lot of these crossover athletes they really make phenomenal fighters. Like Pat Barry was another crossover athlete. He was a football player and like American football player. And he was one of those crazy guys. Like as a heavyweight, where he could just move differently. He just had this explosiveness.
I see.
That's that Svetlana.
It's
Svetlana.
it's the SV. It's hard for us Americans to pronounce. Svetlana.
Svetlana.
Jody, I've interviewed him too. He's the coach.
Nice.
And he's just talking about how they were really, really prepared for this. And season 2, they spelled his name wrong. The TFC called him Puff. Like, just say he's big. Jody Puff. But it's Puff, everyone.
That's funny.
Yep. And here comes the dancers. She's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Better than season 2. And I asked Ryan if they got to bang any of them, and they said no.
Censor. Beep.
Beep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the chain.
These are professionals, Jerry.
These are professional.
That's what they are. These are professional dancers. They probably like studied at the what's that famous
the Minsk or whatever, the Moscow place.
There's that the Bolshoi.
The Bolshoi.
Yeah, they probably studied at the Bolshoi, and here we are talking about these are high level dancers.
Yeah, they are high level. They learned ballet and everything for many, many years.
The Ruskies are a talented people.
They are. Look at that.
Talented artists, talented dancers.
That's right. They even can do backflips this time.
Yep.
So, Svetlana, the red, the leather.
Yep.
I see. And the earrings. Yep.
The earrings with the ponytail.
Yep.
Send in your best Svetlana look.
That's right.
And we'll see if who wins.
Agreed. Oh, I found out, by the way, I asked Janka, the Latvian fighter. Sergey was actually the coach of Riga, the team captain of Latvia. That's why Sergey looks so concerned, because he's coached the Latvian team. He knows this could go bad for everyone. So he's been on the ground seeing what this could turn into.
Gotcha.
That's why he looks like his family's being held hostage. And it also explains why Riga is the captain of the Latvian team, because his coach is Sergey, the chief judge.
Gotcha.
Maybe a little bit of nepotism. A little bit.
Yeah.
But maybe it's well-deserved. I don't know how well Riga fights. I know we know Nikita Kaiukov is the best fighter. Maybe Riga's up there. We just haven't seen Riga fight Kaiukov to know who's better. Here's America. Boom.
New York, USA.
New York. They're Ohio boys, by the way. They just made it.
Why did they make it New York?
Just because that's the only city Latvians probably know of America.
That's funny.
They wouldn't know Ohio.
I was going to say, I was wondering if they trained with like Henzo Gracie or anything like that, but I guess they're from Ohio.
Yeah, from Ohio.
So if you're from Ohio, what I wonder where they train specifically.
Exactly.
Let's see. What MMA gym is based in Ohio?
In Ohio. And I could get clarification from Jody on this too, or Ryan. I can ask Jody and Ryan where they trained. Give their gyms a shout out. So now the standard touch gloves. And for those of you watching, remember that Ryan, the biggest guy on the American side, is actually fighting with a broken hand right now. His right hand's broken.
Dang.
So he's so big, I guess they decided for the sake of the team it's better to have him than not to have him, even though there's 2 substitutes available.
Wonder where is Pat Militich's gym located? I think that might be near Ohio.
So now they start.
Iowa.
And look at the Russians trying to distract the Americans. Look at that.
Oh, man.
Boom.
Yeah, it's so crazy how everybody went to the corners.
Yep.
Everybody just went right to the corners. The American team, okay, he's got full mount here in the bottom right, in the bottom corner here.
And in the top right corner, too, it's full mount.
So, the Russian is doing a fairly decent job of hiding his head. You know, I would never in this scenario hold on like that. I would try and sweep as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. And it looks like he's taking your advice. He's trying.
Yeah, he's trying. But he just got reversed again.
Yep.
So what he needs to do here is he needs to push himself 90 degrees away and try to attack a leg.
Exactly.
The American's doing a good job of lacing his ankle and trying to straighten him out. In order to get away from that, what you have to do is you have to straighten your leg out as much as possible and then put it flat on the mat. And then try and hook a leg shin and try and remove it from your other leg.
I see. So one fight's still standing up, which is very interesting.
This is like the longest fight that I've seen in TFC.
And it's all 5 people so far. I know.
So interesting.
Yeah. Well, not anymore.
Now it's 3-on-1. Whoa, he just got kicked out of the ring.
Yep. That looked... Okay, I think this is over.
Dang, dude.
Or it's like 5-on-1 now.
Yeah, and that's definitely over.
Yeah.
This poor dude just turtled up. He says, I'm done with this noise. Yep, tap
he's
out.
Done.
Yeah.
Wow, that was very quick.
5-on-1, man. Wow. That's a big boy.
That's a big boy, yep. And that was a very quick fight.
It was a corn-fed...
That's right.
Farm boys.
Yeah, growing up fighting haystacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It helps train the knuckles and stuff like that.
I used to live on horse property, and I would have to move all the bales of hay and all that stuff.
Wow.
Bales of hay.
Bales of hay, yeah.
And Yeah, man. There's a toughness when it comes to like taking care of your farm and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
Comes with it. It's still like a work ethic thing, you know.
Yeah. All good display of sportsmanship.
Really good display of sportsmanship. I mean,
Yeah.
these guys are just wow. It's incredible. I think the
Yeah.
warrior spirit's just
Yeah. Sean
respect.
Barnett. BAH. What does BAH stand for?
It's probably his home gym or something.
Oh, makes sense. This guy is actually the guy on the left. I believe is Jody's son-in-law. So the coach's son-in-law. That's
But
Jody.
nasty.
Yeah. Nasty. believe his name is Curtis. But yeah, so it's crazy. The coach has his son-in-law fighting in the Team US, which is
Interesting.
crazy.
Good takedown right there. Really good takedown.
And then boom, that guy got kicked out of the ring, which happened to Brazil during the fight against the UK. The guy got knocked out of the ring, and he just like, okay, I'm not fighting anymore.
Yeah, man, that was the longest TFC fight I think I've seen.
At least 5 people. Like most of the fights we see, it might go on longer, but it's because they start getting eliminated. But in
Right.
this one, the 5 fought the 5 for the longest.
Yeah,
I
it's
believe.
fairly evenly matched.
Yeah.
But you can see how like it's exponential. Like as soon as like one is eliminated, then it just like waterfalls.
Boom.
you
Yep.
know?
So we have a Russian boxer versus. Yeah, this is an MMA. So I think this is a no contest. Who's going to win this? Sean Barnett's also their best grappler in Team America.
All right, so which one are we watching?
On the
here we
right
go.
side, yeah.
Okay.
Looks like there's an apparent
So he
opponent.
clenches
switch.
up. Oh man, good roll. He rolls right into full mount.
Wow.
So yeah, that's actually the guy on the bottom had a pretty good idea. Trap the ankle and then try and sweep him, but you know the guy on top just has a pretty good understanding of how to maintain this mount. He's basing out with his arms.
Oh, look at that.
And see now he's basing out with his legs too, and he has an arm bar waiting to happen right there. He could have rolled for that arm bar and done a belly down arm bar so fast, but he decided to continue to roll and maintain full mount. He's really high up underneath the armpits here. It'd be very easy for him to lock in a mounted triangle or an arm bar, or he could just continue to base out and to strike.
Yeah.
Right here, there's a choke waiting to happen.
Yep. And it looks like he got it.
Yep, he got it. Taps out immediately. Wow. He really didn't wait a long time in order to tap.
Exactly. I mean, the Russian guy.
It wasn't even like sunk in entirely.
Yeah. Maybe he just gave up. He realized I can't fight this grappler.
Yeah, I think he was demoralized at that point.
Yeah. So, Sean Barnett won this pretty easy.
You break the will, man. You break the fighter. It's like it's so crazy. There's when you're first starting out in jiu-jitsu, there's a sequence of combos that you learn in the triangle, the arm bar, the omoplata, and you just keep on varying it over and over and over again. And what happens is somebody who's stuck in that combo, they escape the triangle, and then all of a sudden you slap them in an arm bar, and they escape the arm bar and you slap them in omoplata. They get so frustrated by the time you're on like the 4th cycle, and they're gassed.
Yeah.
And then you've broken their will.
Exactly.
All right, so he's stacking him. He's doing a good job of stacking him.
Allen got kicked in the head, though. This is a multi-person fight lesson.
Ooh, elbows, running down elbows. This guy's a good wrestler. He's stacking well. He's being cognizant of his ankles. He's making sure that his ankle's not getting picked here.
Ah, I see.
Because when somebody is stacking like that, do you remember that Mark Coleman versus Fedor Emelianenko fight where he rolls for the armbar real fast? So this guy's got really good top pressure.
Boom.
There's not a lot of space between him and his opponent. Good side control here. There's a little gap right there. He could be tighter. But what you want to do is when you're in side control, you want to push down on the opposing shoulder. So the shoulder that's farthest away from you. If you can trap that shoulder to the floor, it's very difficult for them to move.
Oh, interesting.
So if I'm on your right side, I want to trap your left shoulder to the mat.
Yeah. And you could, one of the ways is to put your head on the shoulder.
Yeah, a lot of people don't use their head as a 5th limb.
Exactly.
But the top jiu-jitsu guys, they're always using head pressure, chin pressure as a grip.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I believe this is the Team USA coach's son-in-law. And just the fight before, just always be careful, guys. When you're grappling with someone, be situationally aware because Allen, the American guy, did eat a kick to the face from another fighter. But this fight also ends up on the ground. Oh, no. Sorry. We're looking at the right over there.
Okay. So, right
see,
there.
That's where Allen ate a kick to the head.
Yeah. So he was focused so much on his one opponent that he didn't see the other kick coming.
Exactly.
Soccer kick to the dome.
Yep.
Like Pride FC days.
Like Pride FC.
Pride forever.
Oh, man. I think that was Allen again. Took a punch to the head.
This Russian's leading with his little swiping hooks.
Yeah.
He's got good situational awareness. I mean, he's not committing too much to one fighter. He's kind of looking around, making sure he's not getting sideswiped.
Yeah. And this is the great takedown we saw.
Nice.
Oh!
The Russian tries to go for the guillotine, but he's got both of his legs pinched. So whenever I'm going up against like a purple belt or something like that, I will always attempt to pinch their knees together and go directly into full mount. A lot of people, even as purple belts, don't know how to avoid having their legs pinned together and then you slipping directly into full mount. And it looked as though that American was trying to do that to the Russian just then.
I see.
But the Russian did a really good job of keeping his head away, distancing him. Like basically what you do is you put a lot of pressure on the collarbone and you can keep them farther down on your legs so that they can't move their way up.
I see.
To pin your hips to the mat.
Wow. So our American won this, but the Russian guy gets credit for being very, very team oriented
and being game. I mean, like he was, he was never really. You could tell he wasn't like afraid.
Exactly.
He was just in it.
Yeah. And this guy Neil Perry. I believe he was in season 2 also, and it's another grappler versus stand-up fighter. So Russian's the stand-up fighter.
His chin is open.
Boom! Right there.
You could tell he's a wrestler. He had no intention of standing and striking.
Exactly.
Really good spin. I mean, he went for that double leg, and he spun him around. What you do is you use their momentum because they're pushing against you when you're trying to do the double leg. So if you spin them, their momentum is reversed. And then they fall on their butt. I
see.
So he's in half guard here. What he needs to do is push that knee to the mat, his opponent's knee to the mat, and then go into full mount.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. So he's eating punches.
He could do a bunch of shoulder slams here, and really, really. So whenever somebody has their arm around your neck like that, it's really easy to sweep them. All you do is you wrap your arm around their arm, and you put your hand on the back of your head, and you oompa in that direction of the arm.
Interesting.
He's getting punches raining down here. He's covering up. He's got to tap.
Taps.
Yeah, tapping the strikes.
Fortunately.
Normally, I'd say don't tap the strikes. Man, I gotta say, dude, this is like so crazy. Like if you know that you're in trouble and that there's like 5 other people that might be coming to hit you, like I think it's pretty safe to say it's okay to tap.
Exactly. Wow. And I think this is the last fight breakdown. And who is this guy? Aleksej. Muay Thai fighter. Again, man, why didn't the Russians bring any grapplers? I just don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah.
And this is our big guy. He has a broken hand, but again, Ryan can grapple. Wow. So I don't know if the Russians knew he had a broken hand, but look at Ryan.
You gotta be a special like strength of mentality to be like, I have a broken hand, I'm gonna still go in here and do this. So wow, really impressive. Really impressive that he maintained back control, even though like the Russian was trying to scramble out the back door. He backed up. It's difficult if you don't train it to tell yourself to back up. So there's so many opportunities to get full mount by backing up. That people just don't realize unless you practice it over and over and over in drilling. Yeah.
Look at Ryan trying not to use his right hand to strike. That's his instinct, but he has to always remind himself, nope, it's broken.
So look at him. This amount of pressure that he's putting on the back of the head here is if you control the head, you control the body. You can control the hips, you control the body, but especially in grappling here, if you control the head, you control the body.
Yeah.
So he pushed that head directly on the mat, almost like a vice grip. It's like, if you can't move the head, how are you going to move?
Yeah.
How are you going to move the rest of your body
yeah.
without, potentially damaging your neck? You can't. So that was really good, strong position control for him.
I see. Yeah. I still can't believe it. He's fighting with a broken hand, our American.
One of the scariest feelings, if you're in jiu-jitsu, is when somebody puts your face or head underneath the meat of their knee, in between their thigh and their calf muscle, and they just sit on your head.
Ooh.
They just clamp it down, and you can't move anywhere.
Oh my God.
And you'd think it would be easy to sort of like oopa and bump them off you, but you're so concerned about the pressure on your face and on your head, and the potential for damaging your neck. You're completely rendered immovable. You're like, okay, I'm stuck here. And then they have tons of options in terms of key locks and kimuras and everything. So
wow.
A lot of times I'll just forego an armbar, and I'll just vice their face or their head right in between my thigh muscle and my calf muscle. I'll just sit there, and I'll just decide what I want to do. I want to kimura them, or I'll wrist lock them, or Americana, whatever.
Wow. So,
yeah, it's a scary feeling. Scary feeling.
Yeah. In general, I can imagine for these Russians that aren't grapplers, it was probably a scary feeling for all of them when they got taken to the ground, especially by these experts on the American side. Yeah.
When you're doing jiu-jitsu for like months, years, and everything, there's a certain amount of composure that you learn. When somebody is like, their adrenaline is pumping, they're breathing heavily, and they're putting a lot of pressure, and you're able to just sort of breathe consistently, find pockets of air, and relax, and know that the opportunity to sweep, reverse, whatever is coming, if you just keep your brain working. If you're not breathing, you're not thinking.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of the best lessons I learned, and I started out correctly, is everyone that I rolled with when I started out, everyone's like, remember, just relax.
Yep.
Don't try to muscle your way. We're higher belts. We're not going to hurt you.
Right.
At least that's the hope. So whenever I rolled with people, I don't roll that much because I don't know much. But whenever I do roll with people, I just remember, whatever. It's not an ego thing. I'm just going to relax.
Yeah.
So I've just trained myself whenever someone has me in a position, even if I tap whatever. But I think it's a good mentality, because in the future, if it's ever a situation where it's life or death, I'm not going to panic. Because I'm like, okay, I've been in this. Just breathe. I'll just remember how to get out of it.
Yeah, I think that if you're starting out in jiu-jitsu right now, I think a good mentality to have is to go in with the understanding that you are going to have to tap easily over 10,000 times.
Agreed.
Before you're starting to feel competent.
Exactly.
And just be aware that there's going to be a lot of quote-unquote failure.
Yeah.
And understand that you have to get through that failure in order to get to where these higher belts are currently.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be there, then you have to train with them, and you have to experience what they've experienced also, which is this humbling and this like quote unquote failure. It's not really failure, because you're choosing to put yourself in that scenario to learn.
Yeah. And it is learning. It's not failure, it's learning. Because how do you learn if you don't make the mistake? Right.
Exactly.
So lots of great lessons, man. Again, thank you, TFC, for bringing these great case studies and giving us things to think about, giving us things to talk about.
Yeah, lots of variables involved in this type of stuff.
Exactly. And guys, if you think a season 4 would be good for TFC or any other type of group fighting, let us know. This would be another survey moment. If you guys want a 4th season, let us know in the poll section if you want a 4th season. And also in the comments, let us know, who would you bring into your team if there was a 3-on-3 or a 5-on-5?
Yeah.
So this was Fight Commentary Breakdown. Jerry and Rob.
Peace.